Authorities offer a reward for information leading to the capture of 2 Southeast Kansas jail escapees.
Taxpayers across the area are about to see an increase in their personal property taxes. I'm Zach Dodge with how the current housing market could impact that more in the future. Coming up.
And Oklahoma's Attorney General cites private issues as his reason for resigning from office.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A 17-year-old girl pulled from a house fire in Lowell, Kansas, has died. This is KOAM News at 6. Cherokee County Sheriff David Groves says the victim, Breanne King, had just graduated from high school. She died yesterday after the Monday morning fire. According to the Baxter Springs Fire Department, police officer and firefighter Seth Brown got there first in his patrol vehicle. He went inside the burning home with another person from the home and rescued the victim. There is now a $5,000 reward for information leading to the arrests of Michael Marchloff and Mark Hopkins II. Cherokee County Sheriff says the 2 escaped from the jail in Columbus through a plumbing system late Monday night. The men are considered armed and dangerous. Hopkins was in jail in connection with a June double homicide. Marchloff was held on felony narcotics charges. Anyone with information should contact the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office. Checking in with Doug Heady. Pretty nice day out there, Doug.
Yeah, it's actually turned out to be a great Wednesday for us today. Temperatures mid-80s, 4 highs, almost kind of hot across the region, plus humidity kind of popped up there as well. We're fine. We have some clouds which have been rolling in over the past couple hours due to thunderstorms out to our west. But besides that, it looks like it's going to be a pretty good evening. Tornado watch is in effect, central western Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, and then stretching north into parts of Nebraska. Those storms are mainly going to stay west of us tonight. A few of them may try to skirt in here late tonight into tomorrow morning. You can see one band tracks near Kansas City, and then we'll see if these kind of fill in a bit as we go through the morning hours for us tomorrow. And then by tomorrow afternoon, we're going to have our severe threat start to increase. The evening hours look fine. We're sitting into the 80s. We'll drop back into the 70s as we go through the overnight hours, but an elevated risk for severe weather for the entire area for us Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening. Of course, we're going to break this down here in just a bit.
All right, we'll see you then. Thanks, Doug. Home values across the 4 states are up. That's good news for people hoping to sell their homes now, but that could have an impact on everyone's pockets a few years down the line. KOAM's Zach Dodge has that story.
Home prices as of this morning when I pulled it are on average up 13%.
Jonathan Lundy with the Lundy Homes team at Keller Williams says home values have gone up faster than many have ever seen.
We're up from $149,000 to $170,000 on average.
With interest rates in the low single digits, the housing market just keeps getting hotter, where homes sell within days of hitting the market and oftentimes selling for more than the asking price.
It really is a great market for the seller and for the buyer.
There is quite a few increases.
That was Newton County Assessor CHERYLE Perkins, who's getting ready to let many homeowners know that their assessed valuation has increased, leading to a higher property tax.
This year, being 2021, is reassessment, so we are required by state to have values as close to market value as we can.
But they're using sales letters from 2019 to determine the valuation for 2021. Meaning what's happening in the housing market now could cause an increase in 2023 if the market doesn't start to level out.
I wouldn't have any way of estimating how much of an increase it would be. I would hope not much because I don't like, to make it rough on the taxpayer.
She says we'll have to see what happens over the next several months to know what we might see in 23. And for realtors, they hope there's not a significant drop because increases like we're seeing won't go on forever.
Locally, there's a lot of industry coming to town. There's a lot of things that have happened. Factories, there are jobs here. And so locally, we hope that trajectory will continue. Maybe it slows, maybe it plateaus, but hopefully it's not a drop.
In Joplin, Zach Dodge, KOAM News.
Perkins says letters telling people their new assessed valuation should be going out toward the beginning of June. Oklahoma Attorney General Mike Hunter is resigning effective June 1st. In a release, Hunter says, quote, Regrettably, certain personal matters that are becoming public will become a distraction for this office. The Office of Attorney General is one of the most important positions in state government. I cannot allow a personal issue to overshadow the vital work the attorneys, agents, and support staff do on behalf of Oklahomans, end quote. The statement did not describe the personal matters. Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt says Hunter informed him of his resignation just this morning. A new Oklahoma law lets cities ban guns at large events in public places, but only if they meet minimum security requirements. Those minimum security requirements include metal fencing at least 8 feet high. There would also need to be uniformed police officers controlling the entrances with metal detectors. Still ahead, local athletes compete for gold at the Special Olympics in Pittsburgh. And
I'm Danya Backus in Tulsa, Oklahoma, with a look at what was known as Black Wall Street, the race massacre that destroyed it, and my personal connection to the history.
Special Olympics New Hope in Pittsburgh today hosted a track and field competition. Special Olympics athletes participated in several activities at Pitt State and at the Plaster Center.
The city of Pittsburgh has really been a great supporter for the Special Olympics, and specifically even Pittsburgh State University. They've allowed us to host this event here outside in this beautiful weather. We've had such great weather, so it's been really, really great for our athletes to come on out and get to see their friends and see the different people. And even we've had so many people from the community come out and cheer and just support our athletes in so many different ways.
You can find an interview with some of the athletes on our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly and Transportation Secretary Julie Lorenz today announced more than 30 transportation projects across the state. The projects, totaling more than $42 million, include a street project in Cherryvale, Kansas. Between May 31st and June 1st of 1921, Tulsa's prosperous African-American community known as Black Wall Street fell victim to one of the nation's most violent racial incidents. It was sparked by an encounter in an elevator between a black man and a white woman. Now, as we've told you, more than 1,200 homes and businesses were destroyed. Hundreds of people were killed and their bodies were dumped in mass graves. Tonight, reporter Danya Backus explores more of what happened 100 years ago on Black Wall Street and her family connection.
On May 31st, 1921, a single gunshot turned into a massacre on Tulsa's Greenwood Avenue.
You remember getting shot at when you ran across the street?
Oh yeah, you could hear bullets singing down the street.
Historian Scott Ellsworth learned what happened to my family during a 1978 interview with my great-grandfather W.D., who was 16 at the time of the massacre. Armed, my great-great-grandfather tried to protect his wife Lula, son W.D., and their home.
John Williams and his son W.D., they're in this second floor window, and as the light of dawn starts to come up, this wall of whites start coming this way. They realize it's time, we've got to go.
From a high-grain elevator, a machine gun fired shots. Planes flew overhead, Ellsworth says, dropping explosives. In a matter of hours, Tulsa's Black Wall Street was demolished. More than 1,000 homes and businesses looted and burned to the ground. Pictures sold as postcards show the brutal aftermath. Bodies line the streets. Historians believe hundreds were killed, the dead dumped in mass graves. Hundreds of black people were rounded up and taken to internment camps by deputized white men. W.D. was one of the prisoners.
Get on round. Hold your hands up. So he marched me around the Greenwood Eastern. There were about 50 more blacks.
He was separated from his parents in the chaos.
I was afraid outside because I saw him shoot a man right on the steps.
He paints such a vivid picture.
He does. How did you feel?
I don't even know if I have the right words to describe the emotion, because I think you just immediately think about the fear that, you know, people are feeling in that moment. And then I think as a mother to think about trying to protect my child. Reading about it is one thing, but I think when you actually hear it, and you hear it from someone who you know is a part of your family, it impacts you differently.
When Black people returned to Greenwood, they found a neighborhood burned to ash. But Tulsa would soon learn the massacre didn't kill the Greenwood spirit, and to this day, the fight to rebuild continues. Danya Backus, CBS News, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
On Monday night, Gayle King will host a CBS News special, Tulsa 1921, An American Tragedy. It follows more stories like this one. The primetime special airs at 9 right here on Channel 7 on Monday. Later, Frontenac softball prepares for the state tournament. We're going to hear from the team in sports.
Plus, thunderstorm chances and a severe threat for us tomorrow. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it's turned out to be a pretty good Wednesday for us today. Temperatures mid-80s for highs and almost a little hot out there as the humidity has been kind of high, so it felt a little muggy across the region. Still very warm, 81 in Iola, 83 in Fort Scott. We have 81 in Nowata, 82 in Miami, Grove, Neosho, up toward Lamar. So everybody mainly sitting into lower 80s. Now, our temperatures, they are going to slowly drop off as we go through the evening hours for us tonight. It looks okay. Currently outside, sitting at 83, pressure is falling, humidity is at about 60%. Through the evening hours, we slide back through the 80s, 70s. Eventually, we'll bottom out 68 to about 70 degrees later on tonight, but in general, it looks like a pretty good evening. Not too much going on out there, except we do have some mid and upper level clouds, which have been increasing over the past couple hours, mainly due to storms out to the west. You can see the severe thunderstorm watches, tornado watches out across Kansas, all the way down through Oklahoma and parts of Texas. All these storms are going to work toward us, just not a lot's really going to affect us through the overnight hours. A lot of these will fall apart, and then this cluster will kind of clip us late tonight into tomorrow morning. Let's go through time. If you want to get outside this evening, it looks fine. As we go through the overnight hours, here's 7:30 in the morning. Storms to our north. They're going to try to back build a little bit along I-35. If they can do that, this could actually help our severe weather chances out. If we can get enough storms in here late morning into the early afternoon, it will stabilize the atmosphere a bit as we go into the afternoon hours. If they break up pretty quick, then we're going to get some pretty good storms late afternoon. Here's 2 p.m. Let's go to about 4:30 in the afternoon. Showers, thunderstorms erupting, and these will most likely go strong to severe very quickly, which we need to watch late in the afternoon. But again, it all depends on what happens with those morning storms from about 10 a.m. until about 1 p.m. Again, if we can get enough storms, then we're not going to have to deal with this. But if we don't, then we got to deal with this. Showers, thunderstorms, late afternoon into the evening hours. Any of these could be strong to severe. And then most of this action is going to be out of here by 10 or 11 o'clock tomorrow evening. Then we'll start to clear out as we head into Friday. Friday is going to be a really nice day. Humidity is going to be low. We'll only top out right around 70 degrees during the afternoon. All right, severe threat. This is mainly mid-afternoon into the evening hours for us tomorrow. You can see everybody is under, let's say, an elevated threat. I'm going to keep the tornado threat on that elevated level. I'm going to up hail, wind, and rain threat. Again, mainly 2 p.m. until about 10 p.m. The first 3 hours, we are going to have a tornado threat, and then it's mainly going to switch over to heavy rain, hail, and wind. But something we want to watch closely as we head into Thursday. Tonight looks okay. 82 tomorrow, scattered thunderstorms late morning, early afternoon, then again late afternoon into the evening. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even mainly into Memorial Day itself look great. Almost a little cool for late May, but fantastic temperatures, highs into low to mid 70s.
We'll take that. And as I understand it, then we hope for storms early tomorrow because that would likely lessen the severity of the storms that would come later.
Got it.
All right. Thanks, Doug. Coming up in sports, the Frontenac baseball team prepares to head to the state tournament in Manhattan, while the Raiders softball team heads to state aiming for their third title in 6 years. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
The Frontenac softball team is once again headed to the 3A state tournament. The Raiders will hit the field tomorrow in round 1 in Manhattan. Now, Frontenac is the 6th seed in the tournament. They'll face 3rd-seeded Silver Lake tomorrow. The Raiders are aiming for their 3rd championship in 6 years after winning it in 16 and 2019. Now, they only have 2 players on the roster from that 19 team, so for most of them, it'll be their first time on the big stage.
It's a great experience, and I just tell them they just need to play like they all know how to, but to just be excited that we get to, because it's a great opportunity and not very many people get to do it.
We have big moments in practice. We have pressure situations in practice, you know, where we put that added pressure on them and things like that, you know. And man, the fans were so full at our regional tournament. I don't think that they're going to have a fuller packed stands than we did at the regional tournament.
The Frontenac baseball team also headed to state. They're the 4 seed in the 3A bracket and will face 5th-seeded HESSTON tomorrow night in Manhattan. Now, the Raiders definitely hot at the right time. Frontenac's won 12 games in a row heading to the state tournament.
When we're hot, we stay hot. So we're ready to go. I feel like we've been out of it too long. We're ready to get back in the game.
I think they have a lot of confidence right now. They're comfortable with each other. I think their team, you know, they see how things have worked, and they've really grown into their roles, and we're comfortable as a team. They trust each other, they believe in each other, and we come together really well as a team the last several weeks.
Missouri Southern's Zach Parrish has been named the Division II National Pitcher of the Year and a first-team All-American. Parrish became the Division II leader in career strikeouts this season, ending his Southern career with 488. Just in the last few weeks, he's been named the MIAA Pitcher of the Year, the Central Region Pitcher of the Year, and a first-team All-MIAA selection. The St. Louis Cardinals wrap up their 3-game series with the White Sox today. And the Cards are aiming to avoid the sweep after dropping each of the first 2. A big game today for that dude. Tommy Edman in the 3rd inning here lifts it up and out for the solo home run. Cards have their first run of the day. Later on in the 8th, Edman back to work. He'll get his 2nd homer of the day, 4th of the season. All St. Louis this afternoon. Cards avoid the sweep 4-0. In the American League, Game 2 of the series between the Royals and the Rays this evening. Kansas City won the opener last night, and they've won 5 of their last 6. Now, tonight's game just getting started with no score in the top of the 1st. That's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Of Mental Health.
We take time now to honor a local veteran. Lieutenant Commander Bruce Mentzer served in the U.S. Navy during Operations Desert Storm and Iraqi Freedom. His hometown, Iola, Kansas. And we are proud to salute Lieutenant Commander Bruce Mentzer. He's tonight's 4-state hero. Jordan Abbey joins us now with a look at what's coming up tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
Tonight at 9, going to tell you about a vaccine clinic happening Friday, focusing on teenagers. Going to hear about questions and concerns pharmacists are hearing from parents. Plus, what lawmakers and financial experts are saying about the threats of inflation. And why the Hallmark Channel is now selling an alcoholic drink. That and much more, of course, coming away tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
Jordan, thanks. Checking in with Doug. Pretty nice at the moment.
Yeah, it looks fine throughout the evening hours and really most of the overnight hours for us tonight. Some scattered thunderstorms by late morning and then strong to severe thunderstorms popping up late in the day.
Thanks, Doug, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. In the meantime, let's take care of ourselves and each other.
If you see news